Welcome to Ball and Ballers. Oh, apologies, guys. I've got sniffles. I've come down with a cold this week. Hence why I've only had time to do one video because I couldn't even talk, let alone do much else. I'm feeling a bit better now. I'm about 50-50 today, as you can tell by my voice. So I apologize for the coughing and all that other stuff that might happen during this video. So let's get on with the video. So today's video is the Man United and Brighton preview. So after back-to-back wins, we beat Sunderland 2-0. We beat Liverpool 2-1. We're playing at Old Trafford against Brighton, who seems to be our bogey team. We just can't seem to get a result against them. Brighton have won 5 out of the last 6 Premier League games against us. I think one of them was a win for us or a draw. I can't remember exactly. But they have won 5 out of the 6 Premier League games they've played against us. Brighton's last match was against Newcastle, where they won 2-1. So they're a tough team. They're a bogey team. We just can't seem to get a win against them. Hürzeler likes using the 4-2-3-1, usually, but shifting into a midfield box or a diamond possession to outnumber the opponent. They like dictating the tempo. They like setting up midfield traps by using a double pivot of Baleba and Ayari, and the attacking midfielder Rutter to create a 3v2 or a 4v2 central overload against United's Casemiro potentially, or Fernandes, depending on how we play. Or are we going to be kicking the ball up long like we did against Liverpool and Sunderland? And chances are we're going to probably do that. But let's talk about Amorim's press conference. He mentioned that Mount took a knock. He mentioned that Harry Maguire took a knock. So chances are, even though they're fit, chances are they might not even start. So I haven't got him in my team lineup, which I'm going to bring up shortly. Danny Welbeck seems to love scoring against us. Since we got rid of him, he just seems to love scoring against us. So I'm hoping he doesn't get any goals, but I'm going to sort out my prediction later on today. So let's get into the wingers of Brighton. There's Minte and there's Dick Caper. It depends on who starts. They usually stay wide and try and pin back. They'll try and pin back our centre backs, creating space for Welbeck and for him to make them runs. And Brighton out of possession, they usually like the man-to-man high press in our half. So we've got Sonny Lamons, who knows how to kick it long, can use left and right. So that's one way to get out of that. So let's get into what I think my team lineup is gonna be. Okay. So I've got it there on the screen for you right now. And this is a team that started against Liverpool. So there was Lamons in goal. We had De Ligt, Maguire and Shaw in defense. Diallo, Casemiro, Fernandes, Dallo in midfield. And we had Mbumo, Mount and Cunha as the 2 10s and the number 9. So I don't think we'll keep this team. The reason I got this team up is because I wanted to show the changes that are probably going to get made. So I think Maguire will go out. So if I get rid of Maguire, boom, and bring in De Ligt in the middle, and then I've got Lenny Yaro on the right. So I reckon these guys will start only because Brighton love the pace, especially with Minte and the wingers. So I've got Yaro there because he's really fast and he can chase him down. Shaw didn't do too bad chasing down the Liverpool players or Salah. But I would prefer Martinez there, but he's not fully fit. He has returned to training, but he hasn't started training with the first team yet. So in midfield, I've got Diallo, Casemiro, Fernandes, and Dallo, because I think he'll start Dallo instead of Dorgu for some reason. But, that's what I reckon will happen. So I reckon he'll start Dallo, because he loves Dallo. I reckon he'll start Ahmad as well, because the relationship between Mbumo and Ahmad has been great. I think he was only substituted against Liverpool because of that yellow card that he got. But as you can see on the wings there, I've got the 2 players highlighted. them two down the right, amazing. So that's something that I wouldn't really change and don't really plan on change. Although we could get Mazraoui to start because he is fit as well. So if Mazraoui starts, maybe potentially there, but I think he'll pick Yaro. Now, midfield, Casemiro and Fernandes, I think he'll go with them. I really do. So it would get Maguire off the pitch. Stay off the pitch, man. Stay off the pitch. And then Mount took a knock. So I think he'll go out. And we'll have Cunha come in wherever he is. Pardon. And then I think Cunha will come in. Let me see if I can find Cunha on here. If not, I gotta quickly make him. Am I missing something? Oh, there he is. He's already on pitch. So I'm gonna put Cunha there and put Sesko up front. So that's gonna be potentially my lineup. Yoro, De Ligt, Shaw in defense. Ahmad, Casemiro, Fernandes, Dallo in midfield, and Mbumo, and I reckon we'll go with Cunha this time, and Sesko up front. So that's what I reckon it's going to be. I think we're still going to end up playing these long balls up, and I think Sesko will try and get on the end of it. But this time, instead of us winning the ball like we did against Liverpool in the midfield, we'll try and win the second ball, which we might still do. I reckon we'll try and get the flick-ons for Mbumo and Cunha to run onto. That's how I think we'll probably end up playing against the Brighton, who like their man-to-man high press. I know the central defenders play a high line, so for that reason, Donk and Van Heck, they both like playing high line. So for that reason, I think the flick-ons would work wonders. So the long balls and the flick-ons, why should we go away from something that already works? But it's a massive risk against strikers with pace and verticality, such as Sesko, or Mateus Cunha, who both have the pace. And Mbumo is good at getting onto a ball as well, as we saw in the Chelsea game where Sesko flicked it and Mbumo ran onto it. So I reckon that's the way we will try and beat the Brighton defense, because they like the high press, they like the man-to-man marking, they like the high line, because like him, the pitch small. So I reckon that's what will potentially happen. And what do I think the score is going to be now? This is a tough one. Are we going to win 3 in a row? Interesting. Yes, I think we are. And I think we're going to win. We won 2-0 against Sunderland, 2-1 against Liverpool. And I do think we'll win 3-1 this time. So yes, I think the score is going to be 3-1 to us. And we would have won 3 games in a row. Now let's get onto quickly, I'm going to show you the Premier League table. So let's get onto the Premier League table. And the reason why I'm showing you this is simply because of the positioning in the league. So we're in 9th, 13 points. And there's going to be some really good games this weekend that might potentially get us to go higher up. I think if I had to guess, judging by some of the games that we've seen and the results, I mean, Crystal Palace have Arsenal, if I'm not mistaken. Let's get onto the fixtures, actually. Let's get onto the fixtures. Matches. There you go. If it works, that is. If it loads up. Okay. So, Leeds have West Ham today. And I think Leeds will probably win that one. Chelsea and Sunderland, that's the one. I think for some reason, I think that'll probably end up in a draw. So I'll make a note of that. So if what my prediction is, Chelsea and Sunderland draw. Okay. So Newcastle should beat Fulham. So I'm going for a Newcastle win. We should hopefully beat Brighton and Brentford and Liverpool. Whew. I got a feeling this might be a draw. I'm going to go for a draw. So Brent v Liv, it's going to be a draw. So Arsenal and Palace, this will be a tough game, but I do think Arsenal might win that one because the defense is really good, man. Defense is really good. Man City, I reckon, will beat Villa. Sorry, guys, got the sniffles. Bournemouth, Forest. Bournemouth, I think will win that one. Bournemouth, although Forest won the last game. Wolves and Burnley. I reckon that'll be a boring draw. Yep, that'll be a boring draw. And then we've got Everton and Spurs. I think that'll be a draw as well. So let's go back to this Premier League table. Wait for it to load. All right. So if I've got it as Arsenal winning, so they'll have 22 points. I've got it as Man City winning, so they'll have 19. Bournemouth winning, 15, 16, 17, 18. Liverpool, I've got down as drawing, so they'll go on to 16. Chelsea, I got as drawing, so they'll go on to 15. Spurs, I got as drawing, so they'll go on to 15. Sunderland, I got as drawing, so they'll go on to 15. Palace, I got as losing, so they'll stay at 13. So we'll get 16. So we'll end up potentially I reckon we'll end up in the top 6. And that's my prediction. But all I want to say is thanks for tuning in today. I appreciate it. Sorry that I've got a sore throat and this cough and the sniffles and this being under the weather. I don't like it. Been really bad today. I was shivering all last night, but that's something I'll need to deal with. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell, and I'll be dropping more videos tomorrow after the game. And then I'll be going live on a Sunday. I've decided that I'm probably going to start doing more lives on a Sunday, even if a game's on or not. If a game's on, then I'll do a watch along. If the game's not on, I'll still go live on a Sunday and just talk gibberish and nonsense about anything football related. So that is basically the plan I've got. So that's enough about me, and I'm gonna go take some meds and have some rest, and I'll speak to you guys soon. Bye-bye.